But the coach, just coach, not coaches.
Damn.
They entered the game for a little bit.
I do agree with you that you become invincible because not everybody's gonna know, like like we were talking about, what we talked about before, to like be able to hold someone's heart in that way. Like not everyone's gonna have that mindset.
The
Have the key to open it.
comes before,
Yeah.
but once it's like a cliff. Once you jump, you're
yeah.
gone.
Welcome back. Oh my God. I feel like it has been like 7 months, right? 6?
I think since our first episode, it might be like 8.
8 months since our first
swear.
ever episode?
Yeah, I remember
my
seeing
gosh.
7 like weeks ago, so it's probably at 8 now.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we're back. We're back and better than ever.
Way
We're
better.
in a new location.
Yep, brand new.
Yeah. My
Way
house.
more comfortable.
Yeah. Welcome to my home. Paco came over. He made the drive.
Mhm.
I also have to say, like, yeah, it's not that we've abandoned the podcast necessarily,
No.
because we've always known we'd come back to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like life has just been so crazy. Like graduating, I had to graduate and start a new.
Damn, that happened in between all that.
Yeah,
huh?
like graduate, start a new program, like work.
I
Have
took a road trip across
yeah,
the country.
yeah. Oh, you start. What have you been up to for the past 5-6 months, Paco?
Highlights?
Yeah, give us the highlights.
They're all
Top
highlights
3.
because even like lowlights turn into highlights.
Oh, that was a word.
Yep.
Look at you starting off.
Look at that.
Oh
I'm
my
coming out
God.
swinging.
He's coming out the woodwork like that.
So, highlights, took
Yeah.
a road trip with my brother, one of my best friends, across the country for 2 weeks. Wonderful. I took another trip with another wonderful friend of both of ours,
Yeah.
with Alyssa, in Thailand. And then I went to Japan on a solo trip and then switched jobs. Partially, no, actually not even willingly.
No.
Not
No,
willingly
you
at
were
all.
done. Yeah. Anyway, well,
We'll probably never get into that, but
But-
some shit happened at
yeah.
work. Had to switch gears. Now I'm in this new amazing nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
company, brotherhood. It's turning into like amazing human beings at this place that I work at. It's called Becoming a Man. It's under youth guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Great nonprofit. I love what we do. But yeah, that's my life. That's how it's where. Oh, and then we're not going to talk about this now. We might not talk about this for a while. It might come up here and there.
maybe.
But the coach, just coach, not coaches.
Damn.
They entered the game for a little bit. Solid. It's a solid situationship,
Yeah.
we'll call it. A lot happened. I don't know what to say.
That's
Yeah,
it. Like
that's
you
it.
entered the game.
Yeah.
And you've
And we're
learned.
out, by the way.
You're at the game, but you've learned.
We got kicked out.
Okay.
We got
All
kicked
right.
out the game. Again, much like the
you don't
job.
need to tell them that.
It wasn't willingly.
You
it
didn't
wasn't.
tell them that. You
I didn't
didn't
willingly
say that.
exit that. Oh, I love this. No. Actually, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had your experience and
Yeah.
you learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a bit of a different summer.
Mm-hmm.
Not as, no, it was exciting, but not as like crazy exciting. Graduated BC. So yeah, because we haven't recorded, I don't think, since I graduated. Or did we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So yeah, graduated, which was awesome. So lucky. Felt very grateful. And then started working as a medical assistant and then started into grad school.
Wow.
So I'm like right back at BC, where I started,
Yeah.
which is crazy, guys. I'll be at BC for 8 years.
8 more
No, God.
total, right?
Gosh, yeah, no, total.
good.
Can you imagine? That would be
That's too
actually
much.
atrocious.
It's 12 years.
That's too. No, that's like
Yeah.
mine. No. But I'm like obsessed with it. I love my program. I love the people, like way more than I liked undergrad. I meant my program, like major, not BC, but like the support. I just feel it just has been amazing. So it's
Mhm.
made it all worth it. Yeah, I did not play. I did not enter the game. No. I've like, I didn't even tap the waters. No.
You're not even on the court yet? You're not
No,
in
I didn't
the,
even
you're not
make.
on the field?
No, they didn't even.
You sure?
They didn't even try to sub me in.
I feel like she's closer than I was prior to this whole thing.
I was
Been in
not.
around. You've been in around the locker room. Wait, that sounds.
I've been out the locker room is insane. What does that mean?
I meant like the
Insane.
media, like you've asked them questions. You
Yeah,
might have
I've
even
asked-
been on the field with a camera at
No,
one
you
point.
know what I was? I know exactly what I was.
What were you?
Which is also Mile and I's dream job. to get closer to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's the people that after a player falls, that like
It's disgusting.
No, it's not.
Because it's not like she's not trying to be a good nurse here.
It's clear.
You want to go grab him.
No, that's awful. First of all, that's not. That's
I know
not
what you're
okay.
up to.
No.
Thought about that as well.
No,
with Stephen Curry. I've thought it. I know exactly.
So what are you gonna say to him when you're like?
I just want to like hold him.
I don't even want to hold. I just want to say hi.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I just want to wait.
Go ahead. Yep.
No, but that's how close I got. Like, you know, you hop in.
I'm so confused. The people that help him up after he gets hurt and rubs his leg and stuff.
That's not what I was describing. That's what you thought?
I'm thinking of like a soccer match. Like when these guys get hurt.
See, this is why
they
I was
come
like,
out.
Yeah.
They start like rubbing on his leg.
Okay, this makes sense of why you thought I meant like grabbing.
Yeah.
No.
I thought you wanted to touch him.
No, it's the people who sweep after the sweat, basically.
Oh. You said after they get hurt.
No, after they fall, I said. So like, you know, they fall. Like, as soon as
the sweepers. How is this a sick job? That's
the sweepers. Yeah.
It's like the ball boy in baseball.
Yes.
Like, it's very innocent. I thought you were going.
No. Gosh, no.
Maybe I'm projecting.
Maybe you're projecting.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But I think that's how my situation in like playing is. Like, you know, just like sweeping. I'm not actually I'm close to it, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
So that was my love life update. So nothing really significant there. And that's it. I'm gone with 22. So that's over.
Today's Christy's birthday. How did we not start with that? We had this. Okay. A lot. Wow. We gotta have a whole birthday.
No, we don't have to have a whole birthday segment. But that's it. And then I'm 23.
Send your pictures.
No.
Actually, you don't need to. I'll just screenshot Instagram for that. Whole birthday. That's a big day.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for 23.
I remember that.
Aren't you still?
Yeah, but it's almost over.
It is almost over. But like you're still.
I'm still 23.
You're still 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look 16. That's what I keep hearing.
You look 16.
Mm-hmm. You too?
No, I feel like you. No, I think
matured.
Yeah, I think since also you've been through some stuff, so you can kind of tell. Okay.
Seen some shit. What do you mean by that? What do you
know
mean
what I mean by that? You know what I mean by that. No, but also the hair. It makes you look a little older.
I think it was gone last episode.
Yeah, but it made you look older. Also, guys, I mean,
don't
continue. No, you know I'm gonna say it.
Don't say it.
Continue to bring it in. I mean, the amount of DMs, texts I get asking about Paco because of the new haircut.
Yeah.
Like you just and you're wearing the pearls too. You don't have it out right now, but you have like your pearls usually. I mean, Paco, like you're most wanted right now. So let me know. Let me know, guys.
That's music to my ears.
And I can put a good.
We lived 18 years of misery.
It's not misery. It's been great. It's been great. So you can reach out to me and I'll put a good word in.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
You have to go through me first and then.
Always.
And then like I can vet them and then send them your way. Okay. So the topic for this episode, now that we're back, I think we're starting off hot.
We are
starting off hot. Is going to be like what traits or like what does a healthy relationship look like? But we kind of both came up with our own lists.
Our own list.
Yeah. So like our top 5. Because I think we could sit there and like name 10, 100, like whatever, 1,500, like whatever names. But we're going to start with like our top 5 of like qualities and things that we look for. We'll bounce back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we'll comment on each other's and like see if we agree. We probably have very similar ones that we've always done that. So
we're gonna try to make a solid list of 10.
Yeah.
Together. 5 each.
And maybe you guys will get some ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, oh, I didn't think of that trait was for a person. And
it'd be fun too. Like, let's use the comment section.
Oh yeah.
If you're watching this, pause it and write your 5.
Yeah.
Your 5, like what makes a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
And then see if it changes after. Mine changed after talking with people. Mine has shifted around. I can't really narrow it down to 5. That's why I like.
Yeah. We're
making 10 together.
We're making 10
so
together.
You'll cover some stuff that I need. Yep. We're kind of cheating, but you got to put 5. Just
you
5.
Gotta put 5. Put 5.
And then we'll see what people say.
Because we have to be missing some. Even though I feel like we covered a lot of bases, I still feel like we might be missing a few.
Yeah.
I also have an acronym for my 5.
Damn.
Sorry.
You just do it.
It's GLOW.
I'm going to sit here and criticize.
No, don't. It's GLOW.
All right.
GLOW. But
Glow?
Glow.
Jesus, it's good too. I thought it was just like a random
No, it's Glow. That's
like,
my
P.
GLLLO.
Oh my
Glow. I'll start with
Okay.
one, and then you can hit the second one. Okay, so my first one
Yep.
is the Glow G for God.
Yeah, I'm done.
No.
I'm done. Guys, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I heard the first one and my reaction was like, how the fuck did I not think about that? And then I told her to stop because I wanted my reactions to be on camera.
No,
But
that was probably the biggest like one that's like
no,
wow.
but it's just so like the fact that it wasn't.
It's
I'm
okay.
disappointed. I need to be closer to God. Is what? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
go think about that.
mine is God because I think also it's different if you don't have a faith background. Maybe people aren't able to relate to this, but
Mhm.
for me, that does. I feel like I've always heard this and I was like, oh, like that's tough. Like, or like, is that really true? But I do believe it now as after witnessing. For me, I say God because I don't think you can have a healthy relationship. This is my personal opinion, unless they love God more than they love you.
Mm.
And I think that if you base this off, if you're Christian, I think I'm coming from a Christian lens, but if you're like, meaning that person wants to emulate the person or the type of person that Jesus was and like being such a good person and caring, because somebody who loves God truly has all his fruits so that are super loving. And so you kind of get the rest of that, if that makes sense. So like that person is achieving something greater. Like you're not the most important thing, and that maybe sounds scary for some people, but they have something, like meaning like that person, if you mess up or if there's something, one, they can come up from a place of forgiveness because they've learned forgiveness of like how God forgives us, but also they can walk away, like, and you know that about them.
Yeah.
It's like because they know like they're going to be okay, because like if it didn't work out with you, God has like somebody else for them, and God has a plan. So they don't report to you, they
Yeah.
report to God.
Yep.
So like that's kind of like, I think that's so attractive when someone's like, no, like I'm good, like you can mess with me how you want, like you can do whatever you want, whatever, I'm just gonna leave the situation, I'm gonna let God handle it, and God will send me someone else. So I think that for me, if God's in a relationship, it's bound to be healthier than
Yes.
than not, because like you have something to run back to. So that's my first one. Yeah.
That's now my first one as well. That is perfect.
Yeah.
That is literally perfect. And so I've mentioned my relationship a little bit with God on this, and I don't line up with a certain religion fully, but I do believe in God, and I love, this is why I love Jesus,
Yeah.
is because of what you're saying of like, Jesus to me is perfect, and having perfection and knowing that humans can't achieve that perfection is such an important
A distinction.
distinction
Yeah. So good.
and
So good.
and value to have. And this is why I also don't really idolize human beings. Like
That changed for me after I
Yeah.
realized that. I was like, oh, because you'd look at celebrities and people would like
Yeah.
now, and then I'm like, oh no, you're just as like full of flaws just as I am.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And not disrespectfully. or
yeah, no, I'm
anything.
not. It's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a beautiful way too, because it's like that's their humanity. That's what makes them human. They go home, they struggle, they have anxiety, like every other human does. They
And you know what it does too? I think it makes you hold the other person's heart more fragile.
Yeah. Wait,
Because think
explain
about
that.
it.
Explain that.
Because let's say like when you love God, that means he asks you to love all his creation. So I think when you really have a firm foundation in your faith, you are not afraid, like you are afraid of hurting that person, because you know that like God's gonna have to like have a word with you, because now you've hurt one of his children. And I feel like now that makes me want to hold someone's heart so much more sensitively, and just like you're precious, because it's like you're already loved and God loves you, and now it's like I have the opportunity to love you as well. I'm not gonna mess one of God's creations. You know, like I'm just like, now I'm like, oh, I'm hyper aware of that.
Yes.
So it just makes me more sensitive and more careful with somebody's heart.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with that.
yeah.
It's like that to me, what comes up is just like loving thy neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And treating everyone like family, because we all are.
Yeah.
We all are,
That's good.
whether we want to admit it or not.
And you use the that too. That was good.
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah. Look at us. Look at
Theology.
us. Yeah, took a couple
God, self,
classes
society.
here and there. 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of Catholic school.
You got something out of it. That's good. That's yours.
That's a great first one. Holy shit. And so my first one,
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back and forth. But I might throw a curveball here. I might switch it up last second.
Gosh.
So my first one was going to be one of your L's because I already know.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this a million times. But my first one, it's actually very similar to yours.
Mm.
And so you're saying love God more than you love anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say love yourself
I knew you were going to go there.
more than you love anyone,
Yeah.
any human being.
Mm-hmm.
So love for oneself.
Why?
In one word, what would that be? Self-love.
Yeah.
And you may not think of that in terms of like what makes a really healthy relationship, but that's at the foundation of every single healthy relationship is two people coming in with, and I've talked about this before, but with like being self-sustainable, being able to, in the lowest moments, build themselves up.
Yeah.
And in the highest moments, affirm themselves and hype themselves up. And that's that. I mean, I could go on that forever, and it'll come up as we keep talking. But that's my most important thing, is self-love.
I agree. That's good. I also think too, like, it allows you to not settle in your relationship, but then it does make it healthy because someone may say something to you, and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna accept that. Because like I know the love I have for myself, and it makes you respect yourself more. So like you are able to walk away. You're able to stand up for yourself because you're like, well, I wouldn't treat myself that way. And I think you're right, because it's like, it's when you have that before, right? Like when you love yourself so much before, it's like the price is up. Like the price goes up.
Yeah.
The standards are high. Like, because now all of those like material things I can get for myself. Right? Or that stuff, or that emotional working. So it's like, what are you really bringing to the table that I haven't done in that self-love? So it's just it makes you have like much higher standard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being able to walk away too. You've talked about that like a couple times now. That's huge.
Yeah.
Because guys, love is
I'm big on
so dangerous. It's so after dipping my toes in. Holy shit, that is powerful. That is so
it's like
powerful.
a drug. You can get really attached to it. So that's why you have to be careful with knowing. You have to know when to let it go.
Mm-hmm. When to walk away.
When to walk away.
And that comes from loving God, loving yourself first.
Yeah. That's a good second.
And if God language bothers you, just X that one out. It's very simple. Like if that is not something, this is what we say at Arupe, if it's not something that resonates with you, then it doesn't resonate with you.
Exactly.
But it does with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
All right, third one, you go.
Yeah, my third one. So one of the first L's is loyal. No, not loyalty. I'm not gonna go there yet. I might have given a little like sneak peek to my other one. Yeah, but later. Because I'm going in order for me of what's important, and I think loving.
I knew that was going to be one of your L's.
Yeah. So loving. And this is probably, it's so funny because I think loyalty would have been before loving before. And loyalty is still very important to me if you're listening. I'm not trying to say like I don't like loyalty. But loving, because I realized that I love and I love hugs and I think like sometimes before in the past, maybe like weirdly enough is like attracted to people who are more like quiet and sometimes what I would say is emotionally unavailable.
You were attracted to that?
I think no. Well, okay, that sounds crazy. Like that's a crazy line to someone that's emotionally not attracted to that. But I think sometimes like the people I've been attracted to are kind of more serious, which is weird. Like I'm like, except for one. There's one outlier in that, but I think sometimes they've been like very serious, and I realize like I can't like. Not to say those people can't be loving, but I feel like to me, like the person who's like, who immediately sees me and is like more of like a hugger and is like more just like sweet, I think it has become for me so much. It would be healthy for me just knowing how I am. I don't know. I just have a lot of love to give. That's the thing. And I was talking about this with Emily yesterday, actually, about like when I think of loving someone, like my heart, like literally, it feels like physically. I don't know how to describe it. When we say people like their heart like feels like they're bursting, I like get a very physical reaction. And she noticed that like when I talk about someone I love, I'll literally like hold my chest like this because I literally like I get like kind of like chest pains about it. Yeah. And I just feel like with that, I couldn't have somebody who's like nonchalant and who's kind of like, oh yeah, like I like you too. Or like yeah, I love you too. No. Like that could just like that would never work.
No, not at all.
Work. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
I love that. I love.
Yeah,
I love your L.
You liked? Oh, that's good. What you just did. There.
So much just came up for me. The first thing, damn, I had something that on your love point. Oh, and this is I feel like it's important to note like sometimes we want things that don't want us. I think that's so like an innate. Almost like a desire.
That was a little too much. That was a little too close.
Yeah, but like we need to fight that because I feel that too. Like when somebody like there was this girl at school at BC who like she was like one of the first interactions with her was her being so rude, and all of our friends were like, "Oh my God, we love that!" Like we love that. Yes, and she was like instantly way more attractive because it's almost like you act like you don't know what I'm talking about. It's like you want no I don't. Okay, most people out there will be able to relate.
Maybe that's like not to bring gender into that, but maybe that's like a
hell no. It's not gender. It's not specific. What about a bad boy?
Okay, but a bad boy isn't necessarily rude to you.
I mean, they're not like super rude.
Like he could be a bad boy, but he's not like rude to you.
Oh, so you like that they're only nice to you?
I'm not saying that.
But how do you get
personally.
there? How do you get there?
No, but they could be like. That's what I'm saying. Like a nonchalant man that ends up, I guess, being kind of rude to other people, but is sweet to you. Like some girls are into that. Some girls,
a lot of people. Some girls
like that, but not somebody who like if I'm saying hi to you and you have an attitude, literally forget you. I'm sorry.
She had like kind of a good reason. We was so attractive. No, I'm not even to this day. It's still attractive.
Should I try that? That's my thing.
Yeah, but
is that what I've been doing wrong?
People who are no, but that's the thing. So it's like when somebody's rude, right? Like let's say her, for example, she's rude to everyone, but then you somehow like crack through that like that front or whatever, that barrier. Maybe it's not a front. Maybe she's actually just rude, but you crack through it and then she's loving to you.
I disagree.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
I disagree. Not that it doesn't feel good, Paco. Like she may be great to you, but we have said on an episode, one of our biggest pet peeves is when people are rude to like service people or like
my God,
people who work,
no,
you know? So it's like, it couldn't be, I can't see you with someone like that.
No, never.
Okay.
But it still like lives in my head because it's like, it's desire. It's a desire. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
But it's not a desire strong enough for me to ever do anything about it. I felt like I could have done something about that. And it was always just like...
You could have shot your shot.
Huh?
You could have shot your shot.
I talk about this all the time with my friends.
You could have?
I should have. No, I shouldn't have. But like...
It's not too late.
How...
What's your contact?
Talk about fun. Like that would be fun.
For what? What is fun about that?
It's like a temporary high.
It's like bantering back and forth with someone?
No, it'd be a temporary high.
What's the temporary? I'm confused.
That whole, like, how that would all play out.
Like, she would be rude, and then you would try to be rude back.
She's not like
super... Like, what's the story?
She's not, like, super rude.
Like, enemies to lovers? Like...
No, not even enemies to... She wouldn't even... She probably doesn't even know who I'm talking about because she wouldn't even consider what she did was rude. She's just very, like, standoffish.
Okay.
That was
someone we know?
Tangent. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, we're cutting this out.
Oh, this is the girl you showed me?
Yes.
On Instagram? Okay.
I love her. But I know I can't do that. But you'd be lying, though, if this wasn't a human desire to want something that isn't best for you or that isn't great.
Yes, 100%.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But mine has never been in the form of, like, I don't think someone who's actually, never mind.
There you go.
I was going to say not standoffish, but someone who is like more closed off.
Yeah. So maybe we'll call it a kink. It's like your kink is like getting through to someone that you're trying to fix someone. Low key, same.
We've talked about this.
People love fixing people.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So, but I was all trying to say that because this is like a learned behavior in my opinion, to like learn to accept very loving people. Very loving people often get ran over in our society.
Us.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I've been ran over, but like
Yes.
But like I feel like yeah, you're just
No, definitely.
Yeah.
People are much quicker to, yeah. But for me, and I tend to surround myself with people like this. So easy to hype these people up, and but the moment they go back to one of our other pillars, the self-love, the moment they realize that they
they're
are the
invincible.
treasure, it's over, because nobody's fucking with you after you realize that you have what most people don't have, and that's this whole list.
Yeah.
Because most loving people, this is like common sense.
Yeah.
To very kind-hearted, loving people.
But it's also I do agree with you that you become invincible, because not everybody's gonna know, like we were talking about, when we talked about before, to like be able to hold someone's heart in that way. Like not everyone's gonna have that mindset.
No.
And I think like when someone realizes like, oh, she's like serious about it, and it's like, well, now I think the best thing is like when you can be like, well, no, it's too late. Like you've already taken that for granted.
Yeah.
And it's like too late, but you've learned it after.
I love that.
I love it.
Yeah. So we could talk about that one forever.
We could. What's yours? Your third.
Loyalty. Loyalty was the one that that's actually my number one, but for the sake of curveballs, it's not even close. I would rather be with someone that treats me like shit. If we go to extremes, that treats me like shit, but has my back no matter what.
Yeah.
In any room, and won't let anybody else talk shit about me.
Yeah.
Only they could talk shit about me.
Yeah.
That's an extreme. Obviously, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Then
like,
somebody,
what are you doing for that to happen?
Then somebody who has that extremely loving, super kind, and you can't trust them for shit.
You can't trust them. Yeah, that's bad.
Not even, yeah, loyalty, and that's rare. That's so rare.
That is rare.
So rare. People, you guys should do loyalty exercises in your own brain, because there's so many things you could do. Think about what you would do in this situation. You have to, once you start to like think of yourself as a loyal person, it's so hard to do it too. So a lot of times you have to put yourself second. You might have fucked up, you might have said something, but you have to put all that aside, and loyalty's at the forefront, and you deliver on loyalty. But most people they would just rather put themselves first.
I think loyalty too, in terms of like, I mean, we talked about cheating also, obviously. Like that's a big elephant in the room. Like, but I think like you're right. Loyalty goes beyond just cheating.
Yeah.
It's like having that person's back.
Yeah.
Like truly. Yeah, but it's crazy because the loyalty was my like second one. Loyalty was my second one. And I think like we said, it goes beyond, we said cheating, but like having someone's back. But it's also so interesting though. Like I 100% would agree with having someone's back. But my thing is like, to what extreme do you go to for
All
your
extremes.
partner's back?
All extremes.
Like cops, like you're getting questioned. You're being,
That's a great, we should save that. That's a great one.
Okay, save it.
Like if you're, or even just loyalty amongst family.
Yeah.
Like if your family is a murderer, family member.
Yeah, what do you do?
To what extent? I think, we should save that. I love talking about that.
Okay. To what extent? Yeah. So loyalty's your
loyalty.
Okay. Well, now I can't say loyalty anymore, so I guess I'll say my next
move
one.
on,
Yeah. So my next one, the other L is laughter.
Ooh.
This may seem like
no.
But
Wait.
like,
can continue, please. This
I'm just
so
obsessed with laughing. Like I love laughing. I love dry humor. I love like just someone who can come into a space and like almost just immediately make someone laugh. Like I love that. I also love snarky. Like I think the biggest misconception is like, oh, like I'm super sensitive, like don't joke. Oh my gosh, no. Like I love like kidding. I love playing around. I love pranks. Like I love that stuff. I just don't think you can have a healthy relationship without laughing. Like that to me is like a dead relationship. If you don't laugh in a relationship, it's dead. Like there's nothing. Where's the joy? So you have to laugh, like anything. So I wanna, like some of the pranks can be extreme, but like no, I want you to like banter and like make a joke or like make almost not make fun, but like play around. Yeah, I like that. I think that's healthy.
That was actually when I talked about it with Doc.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Doc, what makes, and we need to have a whole episode on Doc.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to have Doc on.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what are your favorite, like, what are your pillars for a great relationship? And he gave me his, and they're great. And then he was like, and you know what? Or actually, it might have been part of that first one. He was like, humor. Yeah. Humor. And that's the one that I was telling you. That would have been another, like, I would have never thought about that. Mm-hmm. So true.
Like, so you light up when someone makes you laugh. Think about it.
So true.
I always say this, there's no better sound in the world than someone like genuinely, like their real laugh.
It's contagious.
It's contagious. And I immediately want to start smiling or laughing too.
Yep.
Even though I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like so much so, like it's funny because she was in the video, my grandma was in the background.
Yeah.
But like my grandma doesn't understand a word of English, obviously. She'll watch Disney Channel and she'll laugh when they laugh.
Yeah.
And she'll laugh when she sees
so
things,
cute.
even though she doesn't understand the context.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that's just how contagious laughter is. So
yeah. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah, humor. And so I'll include my next one right under that one. And this is also from Doc. Mm-hmm. When he talks about humor, and this isn't one of his pillars, but when he talks about humor, is humility.
Oh, that's
and humor and humility, that's where humor comes from.
Oh, that's so good.
Humility. That's good. Because you need, in order like to laugh about something, you need to be humble about it. To like make a joke about something. And not like a coping mechanism. Because that's often, sometimes we like make a joke about ourselves.
Yeah.
But you're actually coping. To be really able to joke. Because nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect human being.
No.
So if you have that humility to laugh about the things that you're imperfect about, or the thing, it could be, but humility.
That's so good.
And then humility, not just with humor, but just in general. Like you need to be humble in your relationship so that when you get criticism, you don't put up an immediate guard. And that's also a learned behavior that most humans have to unlearn.
I think it's hard because it's like you want to be, because I think it's even hard because you know how like you get that way, like you get defensive like in life, like about everything with your friends or whatever. Yeah.
And it's something I want to change.
It's hard to change though, because it's like, because it comes from a place of like immediate insecurity. It's not that necessarily you want to be right, but it's like, oh, now I've become insecure about that. Yeah. But I think it's worse sometimes, or it's harder when you're in a relationship because you're afraid that would just like make you not good enough for your partner. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Because if I don't like humble myself in front of my partner or be able to, I may be like, okay, well now I'm not good enough for him, or like, and you may start to overthink, and now you're getting defensive. Yep. And that alone can create an argument. Well, it's like, well, I can't do no wrong, but it's like that's not true. You will be wrong a lot of times in your relationship.
So many times.
Like so many times, and you have to be willing to accept that and own up to it.
Yep. From start to finish.
Yeah.
There every single day.
That's good.
There's always something to work on.
Doc is so good.
Yeah. There's always something to work on. Humility. Yeah. Every relationship needs humility.
And being able to say, like, babe, I messed up.
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
Yeah, that.
That's huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
What are we at?
Oh, gosh. Like 4? 5?
Have we both done? We're at 6.
Okay. All right. So my next one?
Yep.
Okay.
4 more. Oh, shit.
That's why we're going through these. So mine one was my next one was the O part of GLOW, which is outgoing. Yeah, that's also like a relatively new one. Like because I feel like I'm outgoing, but really not as outgoing as I like tell myself I'm outgoing. And I think like sometimes you're just like, oh, like you want someone who's kind of inside, and maybe for some people, someone who's not outgoing is perfect. Like that's just not for you. But I think for me, like you just have to be able to like to be down with it. Like you have to be able to be like, it's 2 a.m. Bless you. It's like 2 a.m. We want to get ice cream. Like we're going, or like we're spontaneously going on this trip. Like we need a break, 4-day weekend. Like where are we going? Like Dubai. Like we're going to South Africa. Like we're going to Zanzibar, which is on my list. Like, like things like that where you're immediately like, let's go.
Yeah,
like,
we're going.
That is, like you have to. Yeah, we're going. But I would want to go again with my partner. Like just things like that are like, it has to be you just have to be outgoing
Mhm.
and just like a little bit larger than life. I know that's hard for some people because like some people's natural instincts are to be able to be shy, but I think outgoing, when you come into a space and you're able to like command it too a little bit, I think that's so attractive, and it makes a relationship healthy and more like spontaneous. Like there's things to do.
So at first, I was like, that's got to be something specific
Mm.
to you. But as you explained it, I think like the spontaneity,
Mm-hmm.
the adventurous, it's almost like, and I'm going to say this word not literally, but like the inconsistency, like
Mhm.
the I don't know
Yeah.
what's coming next.
Yeah.
But like good things.
Mhm.
Like I'm going on a camping trip just cuz, or like I'm doing this. Let's go grab ice cream just
Yeah.
cuz. Like
Just 'cause. No
willingness to say
explanation.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great
I like that. I like that you phrased it, willingness to
characteristic.
say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not being so rigid. Because I think
Mhm.
as you get older too, right? It's like everybody's gonna get consumed in their job. Everybody, like, you have to build generation. Like, it's everything. But it's like, no, like, what are we doing to just like be kids? Like, oh wait, I think that I just got another one, but I think that's the same thing. Like,
yeah.
I think a healthy relationship, you have to be able to be a kid with that person.
Yeah.
Like,
Kids,
genuinely
oh
kid.
man, I saw something so good about how like kids have life figured out. Like they're actually they're the role models.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. It's like
Mhm.
it makes perfect sense. We're conditioned as we get older to hide all that stuff.
Yeah, to like,
Yeah. I
portray
saw
yourself
this
in a
this little boy going into like Target with his mom. I don't know, I might have sent it to you. Like
Yeah.
I think literally just this morning. And he was like, the mom's like, "Oh, you," like she's joking obviously. She's like, "Don't go in here and telling everybody hi."
yeah. Oh, it's
And
that
that's
little kid and he goes around.
Yeah,
Oh,
have you
yeah.
seen? So cute.
It's
But
so
that's
good.
that's like, and then I saw the best comment in the world. It was like telling the little boy,
Yeah.
like, "Yo, people are gonna try and
to dim that.
to dim that. Don't, please.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, keep doing that
Exactly.
until you die."
Exactly. I think that's like so amazing.
And then looking at the world
Oh yeah.
with childlike glasses. That I love. What did you
So
say?
amazing.
Outgoingness?
Yeah. Outgoingness. Because I think it even helps too, like, if you guys are fighting, if you're in a fight, like,
Yeah.
you know, and it may be something serious, but you're able to find like the kid in it and like the jokes in it and like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get through this, we're gonna fight about this, but like we can laugh about this after, and like we can giggle, be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like how dumb we were about that, like how old are, you know, like little things like that. I think that makes for such like a relationship that doesn't have as much pressure
Yeah.
in it. So yeah.
In that same spirit, can we change outgoingness?
Yeah.
Because I feel like outgoing is like extroversion,
Okay.
and people might not like that.
Okay, so what do you think we should change it to? You're missing with my acronym though.
I know.
It's fine.
It has to be an O.
No, it doesn't have to be no. It's okay. See, I'm being more outgoing.
Yeah. I was thinking childlike.
Oh,
Or,
childlike is good.
Like, because I didn't want to say childish. People are going
Mm.
to take that the wrong way.
No, childlike.
Childlike?
Like a childlike spirit.
Yes. Child spirit?
Childlike spirit.
Yeah.
Childlike. Not child spirit, but childlike spirit.
Yeah.
Because you don't want someone who's too immature to that thing. So
Yeah.
like you can only. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
you
like
can
that.
only act like that. Maturity is good. Get someone who's mature, but also get somebody
Of course.
who with you
Yeah.
is like, you guys are like two kids in a playground just
Yeah.
hanging out.
Oh my God. That's so good that you included that.
Yeah,
That's
like
something I didn't
seesaw,
even-
like, you know, like you're going up and down, just like smiling and giggling, like
yeah,
that.
you need that.
I want that. I want my relationship to feel like that.
Yeah.
Like we're just going up and down together, but like you're laughing and get scary at times because you're like, oh shoot, am I about to fall off? But the other person's just lifting you up, and I think that's like the best.
I think that and humor are like our two that balance this out.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are they're serious.
They're very serious.
You can't play with those.
No.
This is where you get to play.
Yeah,
This
Coaches
is
get to
fire.
play
This list is so good.
it's good.
Okay. This is our 7th one.
Yeah.
No, eighth one.
Eighth.
Oh my God, I have 2 more, you have 1 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable.
That was so tough. I can't believe I didn't include that on my list. How did you take that from me?
You have to
That's
be.
good. That's
You
good.
have to. This is so when I would explain people the situationship that happened,
Mm-hmm.
I would explain it like this. Love is like giving your heart So you've built it up, right? You've already done the work, and I hadn't done the work, but this is ideally what would have happened. You do the work. This heart's like precious. You're like, oh my God, this is my heart. This is like, I've worked so hard on making this thing impenetrable by like the world's BS. It's inevitable. People are gonna try to like stab at it, hurt it, harm it, but yours is good. Like it's precious. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's healed. All of this.
It's a muscle. You've already used it. Like You've
taken this healed, amazing heart, and you give it to someone.
Oh God.
That's what love is.
So scary.
So fucking scary. That's
scary.
the vulnerability that you have to have, and that's why trust and loyalty is so high up on our list, because you need to be so certain they're not gonna crush that shit.
But I think it takes. This is one of the traits that's important, but it's like it would take a little bit to have it included in a relationship, if that makes sense. Like it can't be like first, third, fourth date. It has to be
I
like.
Disagree.
I can't. I'm sorry. Yeah, this would be I disagree, because I think fourth date I still have my guard up, like, because that's the thing, right? When you know your heart is like that, like it's a muscle you've trained. It's been broken. You've built it back up piece by piece. A lot of that work you've done alone.
Yes.
Right. So like, also mind you, this is not just healing from like past relationships.
No.
This is healing from like childhood trauma, like life trauma, like from being a kid of seeing life in a rosy, like the rose like glasses, to now seeing people for who they are, realizing humans mess up.
Yes.
So you built that, and then you hand it to someone. No, mine is being handed, but it has mine. I'm gonna be honest. It has the guardrails up. It has like the gates. It's easy though. It's easy because when you've like shown me that you have the key, and then you just open wide up, and when you open it up, it's quite literally yours to do what you will, but you just have to like find the key to open it. Because the thing is, it's like if it's third date, right? You don't.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You can't do it early on. But before you become
that whole
a
thing
relationship,
about giving someone the heart, of course, that's way down the line. You can't just hand it out.
Yeah,
it's gold. You don't just hand out gold.
You can't.
But I'm referring to the vulnerability in terms of like. So maybe that wasn't a good example to give for this, because honestly, I would just set that aside. What I'm saying is vulnerability in terms of like, how are you feeling? Like so in the situation that I had, I was so big on letting her know exactly how I feel throughout the entire process. Anxiety, sadness, joy. That was amazing. Let's debrief this. What do you like about this? What didn't you like? And I think that's the vulnerability I'm talking about.
Because you know what? You're so right. Because I realize like one of the most painful pieces is like when you're with someone. Because now it's almost like, does the person not trust you if they can't be vulnerable? Right? Because if they're not able to open up, like I think it's so hard when you're in a room with someone and you know they're going through something, and sometimes it's like it's not your right to know. Like if it's a friend, whatever, it's like you're not your right. But I think if it's with your partner, like you're coming home and you're in a bad mood, and you're just going through something, but I have no idea. Like how isolating is that? Like because now I feel like like you're in your own world and I'm not invited into it.
Yeah.
And that just can't happen.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you.
Yeah, I want to say another one, but I feel like it's going to be too similar to vulnerability.
What is it?
Well, maybe this will just be under vulnerability. I'm going to cheat real quick. But it's communication.
Oh, yeah.
You have to communicate.
Huge. It's huge.
I think they go hand in hand because it's like, what are you communicating? I'm inclined to believe close to everything.
Oh, absolutely everything.
With your partner. Like close to people are like, oh, you don't want to tell them everything. But why? If this is your person.
I think they get so scared of like.
Yeah.
It's the same argument with like prenups and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you want them to have this or access or know this? And
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like what the fear is like someone abusing that.
Yeah. It's the fear of somebody crushing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think there's some people right now who are in good relationships, healthy relationships. Well, I don't know if healthy, but like you're in good relationships that would tell you never to let someone know if you have another bank account separate. Like that's something I grew up.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
I've
that's
never
like
heard that shit.
that's something I
That's
mean.
an ick.
My girl taught me that since I was a little girl. It's like when
and
you
I get why.
you have
totally
a shared one,
why.
but then you have one on your own because you never know what will happen and what somebody might try to do to take that away or like what like never trust anybody else fully.
Which makes sense.
It makes sense.
Don't
Logistically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
this is the world we live in.
yeah,
like,
it's the world.
There's a saying in Spanish. It's like, ella o él no creen ni en su abuela. Like
Guys,
he doesn't even
too.
he doesn't even care. He or she doesn't even. They don't even trust their grandma.
Yeah.
That's the saying. So true.
Yeah. That's literally, I've been taught that. You don't even trust your family members. Like, because anybody can do you wrong. So I think that's the piece when people are like weary to communicate everything about the relationship. They probably have had a lot of similar people telling them in their heads when they're growing up of like, this is what it could be, or like, this is what could happen. And what did I always tell you, right? I always tell you I think we've talked about this like last podcast, right? You don't be like, no, Chrissy, like this is it. This is my person. And I was like, never never be surprised if someone shocks you.
Yeah.
Even if that's your person, never like it's not black and white. Someone can always shock you.
I don't like that though.
I know, but it's like that's why I'm saying like the vulnerability. It takes a piece. You're giving a heart. You're giving your heart.
Still but what you're saying is still having some kind of barrier around it.
Well,
even if it's like saran wrap, there's still something around it.
It's not saran wrap.
You may
Maybe
not
like
have.
The,
you may
like
not
the
have
cookie paper. You know, it's like easy to cut through.
I don't know. I don't like it
Easy to
though.
rip apart.
I want it to just be raw. You get all of it.
I think you
It's
do.
yours.
You do get out someone's heart, but that's why I'm saying like you have to be careful though. I guess the thing is like just being careful who you give that to, because people will abuse it.
Bingo.
So they have to have the key to open it.
Comes before.
Yeah.
But once it's like a cliff. Once you jump, you're
yeah.
gone. You can be super careful. What you can do, let's take a cliff analogy. You can watch other people jump first.
That's true.
I think that's what we're doing. We're just watching people jump. What worked for you guys? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then you're getting the idea. That's a good one.
You can go and measure it. You can be like, oh, you haven't jumped yet. You can go measure it. You can go from the bottom, look at it. Oh, okay. That's about 25 feet.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. That's scary. But we measured it. Someone else jumped.
Yeah.
You could do all the safety precautions before.
That's good.
But once you jump, you can't just reach back up and grab the cliff and pull yourself back up. You're gone. You jumped.
Wow.
And
that's good.
That's what you need. Because if you jump with a safety precaution.
But you always have a little safety precaution up.
No, all the safety comes before.
No, but like when you're doing bungee jumping, whatever the case may be, you jump.
It's different.
There's something ready to pull you back up, isn't there?
Of course. It's not bungee jumping. This is jumping in head
into
first.
water?
Into water. You got to swim.
But there's a way, but usually there's a way to get back up, right?
It's scary.
There's like somewhere else you can like get back up there.
Not in this one.
There's no stairs?
No, there is. If they
you're just down there
if they
forever?
deceive you, you'll find a way back up.
Yeah. Okay.
They try to drown you. That's I don't know. We're dragging the analogy. But yeah, it's the jumping it's the unknown. You've done all the safety measures. You've taken all the safety measures.
And then now
you don't know if it's going to work.
You just have to
There's
trust.
still a risk. There's still a risk you could break your neck. There's still a risk you can break an arm.
That's so terrifying.
That's love. That's exactly what it is. But you just have to jump. You have to give them your heart. You have to trust.
That's so scary.
If you're not ready to do that, you're not ready for a relationship.
I don't disagree that like you don't have to. I agree with you that you have to do that. I just am saying though, that's why sometimes the process takes so much longer. It takes so much longer to find. You are constantly vetting people, right? Because even if it's like, we've talked about this, even if it's like with friends or whatever, you're constantly vetting.
Every day.
You're on, like, you're just constantly trying to see, yes, does that person fit that or no? Because you have to be so specific when you're handing it because of that. Like you're jumping head in first. Like there's no going back.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. When you can hand the heart, but they got to find the key to be the one that like opens it.
Okay. I still think you're still giving them, it's like an extra step.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you want someone to just go into your house without it? Like, you know, like you want
Do
someone to
all
enter
that,
your
do
home.
all that before. Have them open it before you hand it to them. Once you hand it to them, you're giving it up. That's the
Okay.
scary part.
That's okay. That's fair.
And yes, you can always take it back.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
I took mine back. I really gave it to that person. I took it back
You did.
right away
You did.
as soon as they didn't meet one of our requirements.
One of our requirements. Yeah. See, that's the thing, guys. It's like that requirement is like it has to be every one of those requirements.
Every single one.
Every single one. Like I think I'm saying those, like we're saying it in a list. It's like, oh, if you really have to have all of them. I'm sorry. And it's maybe sound like that's demanding. It's really not.
No.
On the basis, it's just like being like a good human being.
Yeah.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
as like heavy as people make it seem sometimes. But
But
yeah.
it is rare.
it's rare.
Super rare.
It's like a gem,
Yeah.
finding a jewel.
You got another one?
Well, you stole one of mine, so now
What
I
is
have
it?
to like.
What was it?
It was loyalty, because we had the same one.
Okay.
I'm thinking I have. Oh, mine's okay. I have my next one.
What's your next one?
Okay, ambition.
Ambition. I knew you were going to say
Yeah, you know
this.
that I'm a
Yeah.
bit ambitious of a girl. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, this is so you.
this is really me.
Yeah.
This is me, guys. My next one, is ambition.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, ambition. Like, I think, you know what? I said the ranking. None of the order matters. I'm changing it besides God. That one's
Okay,
always
yeah,
first.
I was gonna
but
say.
then none of the other. Ambition is so huge. Oh my gosh, I can't stress this enough. For me, it is so huge. I think like we've gotten into it about this before, but I think as someone who knows how my mind works, I'm constantly like thinking of like, I'm not necessarily creative, but I'm always thinking of like new ideas. It may not be the most creative thing, but I'm always like, okay, like what's next? Like, what are we pushing? And I think sometimes that's hard because you may need someone that's just like, no, like plateau, but I can't be plateau for too long. Like I want someone who's like constantly like knowing how they can better themselves. And that's not career wise. That's not meaning like you have to automatically always go get the new promotion, but it's like, how are you working to become like a better person in that ambition? You know, like I just don't know. I have so many dreams for the future and things I want to do that I just can't see myself with somebody who's not ambitious and who does not understand those things. So like, that's me.
Yeah.
That's like otherwise.
So my thing with this is
a dreamer.
what first comes up into my head is like opposites attract.
Yeah.
And I am so with any of the other ones, I would be like, no, I don't want someone that's disloyal, or I don't want someone that takes life way too seriously and isn't childlike. But for this one, I think it could work really, really, really well when you have someone like you, super ambitious, super like go-getter, and then you have someone that grounds you.
Yes.
In terms of what you're describing is very like future oriented and always looking into like what's next. And I feel like you do this a lot.
Yeah.
You're like always busy.
Yeah.
And then if you have someone that is and I'm very similar. I would actually line myself up right with you, but I could see myself.
Because I'm like, you will text me 5 different ideas that you have in a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Like
I'm delusional too.
Yeah.
But that's not something that I need in a partner, because I would actually love
to just be grounded.
To be grounded. Like imagine having someone who and this is actually someone I'm trying to become, there's this book that Doc recommended. It's called Becoming Nobody. And when you try to become nobody, you unlock, it's such a rare human being that understands their place in the world is not one that's meant to be like grand. If it is and it ends up that way and you're super talented and it just naturally happens that you're, yes, great. But someone who's just like so okay in like the day to day.
Yeah.
And this was highlighted when my friend Ian and I went on our road trip.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful being with a friend where like we would wake up and our main goal were 2 things. It's like, how are we going to get to our next spot? Or how fast is it going to be? What route are we taking? And how are we going to eat our next meal? That was it.
Wow. Yeah.
and we'd eat 3 meals a day. We would spend the majority of our day cooking together, just like random
beautiful.
meals.
In the present.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every time we would take time to eat. I never do that when I'm here in Boston. Never. It's always gotta watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Or I gotta do this work while I'm also eating.
Yeah.
Like
that's
my
the thing.
meals aren't
you're
just
so
my
right.
meals.
I agree with you. You just like changed my perspective on that.
So what if we
honestly, in the
have
moment.
someone that's like
Grounding.
Doc?
Yeah.
You go with Doc and you're like
Calm.
you're calm. You go back to
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
yes.
That sounds really nice. I just think about it in more of like, because I've talked to you about like my dreams and like things I want to do we've talked about this like community wise and like my career and stuff. And I think I get nervous if you're with someone who doesn't understand that.
Yes, that's also huge.
You know, so like I think I want to be grounded, but also with somebody who understands that.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes men will get intimidated or just be like, well, you don't have to do that. And I know I don't have to, but it's like, are you able to understand my want to do that and where that comes from? Because it's like when I feel like I have a calling for something and I've already felt called to this and I felt like it's already been put on my heart for what I want to do in the future, that calling came before the person came. And I think that person has to be able to be like down with it, to be like, you could be like, yeah, she's crazy and she's like gonna go, but like I support her. I'm here to ground her, but I'm also literally perfect example of what I was just watching an interview with Doug, Kamala's husband, and she and like they were talking about like how do you do it with your wife just decides that she wants to run for president. And he was like, I mean, she's ambitious. Like she's just going. And he's like, that's not me. And like, I'm here to ground her, but also I'm not there to dim her light because I'm falling more in love with her.
Oh my God.
As I'm watching. Yeah. Like I'm watching her go. This is her passion. I'm falling more in love with her. It's different. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's requiring more, but like, I'm not going to now feel more little, like not in myself. Like he's like, basically like, I'm okay with being the nobody. I'm okay with being just there to support. So
yeah,
that's my piece.
And I think both are equally as important.
So important. Oh, you cannot live your life without a grounder. No.
Let's make that our 9. It's like knowing, and I hesitate to like.
Or is that our 10? Our
characterize. 9? No, it's your 9. I have one more.
Okay.
But I hate to characterize like when people are like, this is the breadwinner.
Yeah.
This is the person that stays home. This is the ambitious one, and this is, I think you need.
What's the opposite of ambitious?
Well, the grounded person.
Yeah, the grounded, yeah.
So, I think both people need both.
Yeah.
Is actually what I'm concluding.
I agree.
But if you're not going to have one, I'm not going to lie, I'd rather be the grounded person.
I think that's fair. And I would rather be the ambitious one.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
But that, yeah.
I just don't know how to sit still, so it just would be hard for me to be the grounded one.
That may just be my desire right
Yeah.
now. Because I feel like if I wasn't like this, I'd want the other one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, I love that one. That one's sick.
That was a good one, yeah.
And this, it kind of like sparked when you were talking about Kamala's husband.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who celebrates your wins.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
In a friendship, in anything, it's the best feeling in the world. It's almost, I almost want to say, and I don't know how to phrase this, but like someone who genuinely wants
the best for you.
The best for you. Better for you almost than they want for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I'd teeter on that line. My mom plays that role. Like she wants the absolute, like there's nothing I bring to her that's like, I don't feel like I'm having my biggest hype man with me. And sometimes I'll bring her something and she's like even more excited than I am about it.
Yeah.
That
that's
genuineness,
like the best.
that love,
that's special.
I need that.
That's special.
Because I'm going to give that. I promise you that. I'm going to give
exactly
what that is. Yeah.
I can't wait for that. I think that's like so important. Like the cheerleader
piece.
Like it's like I'm your biggest fan.
Yep.
I think that is like so special to have someone that like no matter what happens, like you know they're going to be cheering you on, like in your corner.
Yeah.
And I think that's like it's overrated. It feels overrated sometimes. It's like, oh, like whatever.
Yeah.
And like I think we like, oh, our friends do that, but no, when someone genuinely is like rooting for you, you can tell the difference.
Yep.
You can tell the difference.
You can 1,000%. I love cheering for people.
Yeah.
Like genuinely. It's not even just, oh, I'm saying that to be different and no. Like I will go out of my way to let people know. If you bring up one of my friends, I'm going to tell you they're amazing because they did this. You have the list, There's examples running through my head all the time.
I mean, because the worst thing you could have is when I've had this happen when you tell someone super excited, like something super excited to you, and then they're so nonchalant or so like, oh, like whatever. You could tell. It breaks my heart. Yeah. It breaks my heart.
You know.
Because it's like.
You can sense it.
Dang.
You feel it.
Like you can tell when someone's genuinely excited for you and when someone's like.
That's your sixth sense.
Yeah, your sixth sense. You know it. You feel it. It's your intuition. And run away from those people. Oh, wow. What a list. We kind of gave them some bangers. Yeah. I apologize if there's any background noise, guys. They don't. But guys, is that it?
That's our 10.
That is our 10. Tell us which ones that you agree with, that you don't agree with. Yeah. Which ones that you would add. Mm-hmm. There's ones that I'm not including. Another big piece from that I won't include in this, obviously, is like intimacy, but that's just different. That's like something, apparently, because that's not on people's lists often.
I don't think it belongs on people's list.
Yeah,
because it's not like for everyone. There's people that are asexual.
That's true, but I'm saying like if that's what you desire, like for me, that's something that's important. So, we're not keeping this in.
No, we should though, because I think we haven't talked about that because we haven't experienced.
I don't know if I'm like ready to.
No, I think that's huge though. I think this is where we recognize our humility in terms of like we know like coaches don't play also comes with its shortcomings.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
And I think the fact that we haven't engaged and the fact that it's not on our list actually is so telling.
It's very telling about us.
It's so telling.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't the first thing that came to me at all.
No, I didn't even think about that. On everything I love, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I thought about it, but like not on my first like 5. Like it would have been somewhere in that because I do think it's very depending on the person.
You know what? Yes.
Like for me, that's like crucial, I think.
I would have gotten there eventually. Maybe it would have been 25.
But
the fact that it's not so high up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you just like blew my mind. That's so true though.
It's not high up.
There is gonna be a lot of people that are like, these guys, they don't know shit.
They don't know.
And you might be right.
They haven't experienced it. They don't know.
It might be the most. I might come back and be like, you know what? Right after that self-love one, right after the God one, it's right there at 3. Like,
it's like actually it's number 2 after God. It's that.
It's that important.
Love